Hey, it's David Hertz with the Sports Car Guys, and today I'm with Dean, and we're in his 1957 Chevy Nomad. Thanks for letting me ride with you.
No problem.
How did you get the car?
Well, I've always had an interest in 57 Chevys. In fact, this is number 6 57s I've had. Way back in '96, I happened to see a Nomad, which I really liked. So I put on the big search for a 57 Nomad, and I found it in North Hollywood in '97. And I trailered it back from there. Wasn't too long after that, I stripped it all the way down to nothing, all the way to the frame, all nuts, bolts, everything. Much time, much money later, here we sit.
Did you go completely stock, or did you make any changes?
The original intent was to make it stock. After I started driving around with the 2-speed Power Glide, I couldn't take it anymore, so I pulled out the engine and transmission. It's got a 350 crate engine with a 700 R4 overdrive transmission.
Okay.
But the goal was to make it look stock. So if you looked under the hood, it looks stock. No, you probably wouldn't know the difference.
And the brakes, you've got stock brakes, or did you upgrade to disc?
It had original car brakes on it, 57 car brakes. Just did not feel safe with them. So my last project, I just converted over to disc brakes.
Okay.
Now it has power disc brakes. It stops much better.
Yeah, with the bigger engine too, you probably want that. That's probably a little bit nicer.
It runs pretty good now. But it's still a 57 Chevy, so the technology and the suspension is still 57. So
yeah, you feel a little bit more of the road. And stuff,
you feel it doesn't. Yeah,
but
it's not like a new car, but it's
right. But a lot of that actually helps. I think helps with the driving experience. It makes you feel a little more connected to the car.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the newer cars they mute that so much that you don't get that experience.
And it has no power steering, so it is a job to steer it.
So my dad's first car was a Ford Galaxy, and he always used to say it was had power steering, but it was powered by Armstrong.
Oh, well, that's it.
Was the interior like this, or this was all restored as well?
When I got the car, the guy started it, so he had the seats done.
Oh, okay.
So I used the seats over again. The whole headliner is all
brand new.
All new. That was a job right there.
The bright work is really nice. It pops out. It really makes it set off.
All the chrome on the interior that's the way they came originally, but that's the way the chrome was. So I had those pieces have all been re-chromed.
The only bad thing, it doesn't have air conditioning or anything like that
No, it does not.
Spring or early
more or less,
drive.
right?
Yeah.
Or if you go out in the summertime, you go evenings maybe or something.
Right.
It's not quite as bad.
Yeah. Do you take it to a lot of shows, or just enjoy driving?
Not too much. We went to maybe one show last year. They took Best of Show.
Oh, okay.
But car shows, I get bored sitting around a lot. So
yeah.
I would rather drive it than sit around.
Right. Well, yeah, they're meant to be enjoyed.
Oh yes, yeah.
A lot of people get them and they end up just having them on trailers all the time.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's all about the cars, and getting together with people when you're.
Oh yes.
Something like that. Yeah. I bet the gas mileage is probably 8 miles a gallon or something like that.
Well, originally with the Power Glide, I would probably say 12.
Oh, okay.
But now, see, this is a 4-speed overdrive. Probably on the highway, it might get close to 20.
Oh, well, that's not bad at all. Yeah. It's more the stop and go that probably will drive you down.
Oh, for sure, right.
With the frame off restoration, did you do it all by yourself, or did you have other people do certain parts?
Well, there's things that people do specially. I mean, like the frame was all sandblasted and then powder coated. And then the whole body was sandblasted. And then had an epoxy primer put on it, special. And then And then I had to wait many months for the special paint shop to get it painted. But the body, I had it sit on a wood frame, so I just took just the body only to the paint shop.
Okay.
But putting it together, I did it all myself.
Did you do a multi-stage paint job with the clear coat?
No.
More modern, or you
No.
went more original?
No, this is just straight basic paint. No clear coat.
It sure shines up really nice.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Find when there's no clear coat, the waxy makes a lot of difference in actual polishing.
Yeah.
Just a nice, kind of comfortable drive.
Yeah,
Just feel like it's just
Not too bad. Yeah.
it's not eager or
No.
anything like that, but it doesn't feel slow either.
And all the stainless, I had to go to a special stainless place, and they straightened it all and polished it. All the stainless on the outside is all the original ones that came on the car.
Okay. Is it the original radio and all that? Or
Original radio,
Oh. Usually that kind of stuff gets stripped out.
Yeah, no, that's
something
all
newer,
original.
Very nice. Did you put any like the Dynamat, the newer, to
Complete.
sound deadly?
The whole interior, completely. Headliner, everything.
Yeah, that makes a difference over
It
'cause
helps,
that old
yeah.
stuff. That breaks down real fast. The wheels and rims, I didn't get a good look at them. Those are the stock as well.
Yes. Which made it hard on the disc brakes because I had to put spacers on the front wheels, and then they had to grind the calipers just for the rims to clear. Only because I was using the stock rims.
It's part of the problem sometimes with these old cars that you have to, if you want it to look stock but you want more modern features, you have to do a little bit of work.
Right.
Make it all work out. So I'll bet though this is one of those cars where when you open the trunk, you actually have room to work on the engine instead of a lot of the newer ones where it's all jammed in there.
Like when I brought my first 57 home, my son, he looked under the hood and he said, "Dad, where's all the parts?" Because it's nothing like the cars of today.
Right. Well, they cover most of it up with those engine covers.
Oh,
anyways.
yes.
And then that is something that's really nice about these older cars is you can see what it's supposed to be.
Right.
And get your hand in there. That's the biggest thing. You don't get hurt when you're trying to do something. So is it the stock rear axle as well? Stock suspension?
Well, it's got gas shocks, but that ain't nothing compared to the original ones.
Right.
And the rear end gears are a 308, which made a little better on gas mileage. They came out of a 64 Chevy.
Okay.
It bolts right in there, no problem. Just the gears. The whole rear end is still 57.
And 57 is the last of like the first generation Nomad, right? Kind of the first.
That was the end of the Nomads.
Right.
58 actually was a Nomad, but it was just a 4-door station wagon. It wasn't sporty like this.
Right. Yeah, the 2 doors really.
The 2 doors only made it for 3 years.
They're the ones that you always see. Everyone wants the 2 doors now.
Oh yes, yeah.
But I do understand. Probably back in the day, Chevy was like, well, 4 doors is more practical. I just love the styling too of all. I always love cars where you can see the edges.
Yeah.
You can see the fenders and all that, and it really tells you where things line up. And then visibility with all the windows.
Oh yes, you can see. You can see everything.
Because one of my cars is one of the newer Dodge Challengers where they try to make it look like the old one.
Oh
but
yeah.
When you try to look back, there's big blind spots and stuff, and with the way they got the wraparound glass and stuff in here, that's pretty much gone.
3 Chevys sitting in my garage, counting this one right now.
Oh, okay.
In fact, the family cars got to sit outside under a carport. The Chevys get to have the garage.
Are these getting up? I haven't checked the values recently, but are they getting up in value? Or
they're
more
getting
difficult?
up there.
Yeah.
I don't usually worry about the price, but
Right.
But
if someone wanted to buy one, they've got to bring Probably for
oh.
one edition, 50, 60, 70,000.
Could be, yeah. But originally they made 6,103 57 Nomads. So how many are left now? Half maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be all stock, muffler and all. In fact, the whole exhaust system is stainless steel.
Oh, okay.
So it never rusts. It always looked halfway decent.
Right. It is a different feel when you go back to just having the lap belt.
Oh.
Because you get used to having that strap up there.
I don't know how many times I got in the car and I'm reaching up here. Yep. Nothing there.
Yeah. With the seat like this, your mom would just reach your arm out and stop you.
Right. But most of them did not even have seat belts.
Right.
Seatbelt, but they were an option. You could order it if you wanted it. But I don't imagine most people did. But these are supposed to be close to the original seatbelts.
Okay.
In styles.
And no padded dash, which looks nicer. I know that safety-wise, there's reasons for it, but then you're not hot rodding it either. You're not doing it just fly down the road, do burnouts or anything like that. This is more of a just kind of cruise around.
Right, that's it.
A lot of people get stuck on the high performance, the new Corvette Z06 or something like that, and super fast, but you can have a lot of fun in a car that's not about speed, just about enjoying the scenery and where you're.
Oh yes, yeah.
It's all about getting there and enjoying yourself. And it sure shifts really nice. That transmission.
Oh yeah.
Makes it feel really smooth.
Well, I went right down to the B&M transmission in Fresno. He rebuilt the whole thing, and I put it in there. It's worked good.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed cars. My actual job, I was a service technician for Sears.
Oh, okay.
So I was always working with my hands and fixing things. He's had these 57 Chevys. My first one I got in '62.
Oh, okay.
And I drove that across the United States, I think, 3 times. I'm originally from Pittsburgh.
You get stopped a lot when you fill up for gas and stuff?
People are always looking. It's like that guy in the parking lot there.
The guy in the parking lot that was taking pictures right there, yeah.
I think the guy on your side too. I think he pulled in there special just to look, and he was still sitting there.
Yeah. That is one thing when you get a classic car, and especially when it's all fixed up and stuff, you got to expect things might take you a little longer to get to places because people want to stop, talk to you. They'll share their own stories about cars. Yeah. That's actually what is really great about cars is, sure, they're machines, but there's such a connection with them that everyone you'll see a car, you'll remember it, you'll just start talking to someone sometimes, and you can tell stories about, oh, I had this car, or I had that. I find no matter what kind of car you're in, there's kind of a basic commonality. If you like the GM cars, or you like Fords, or Porsches, whatever it is, there's something about just cars that we all like, that basic, everyone has a different flavor they prefer, but the car itself,
You're right, yeah.
I like all the push buttons for turning on the lights and different things.
Yeah.
I have to say I love wind wings. They're something that isn't on cars anymore, that is just so handy to be able to, if you didn't want to run the air, you can flip it.
It helps, right.
Yeah. And obviously when it's under 10 out, it's not going to do anything, but when it's like today and you want just a little bit more, they're really handy. So one of those features that used to be on cars that it's like, they don't do that anymore. And the look of the rear view mirrors on the side mirrors, the round style, that's something that you don't see anymore either.
Not real big either.
Yeah. Don't see as much as you would.
Even the rear view mirror here, somebody asked me if that was original, but it's not very big. I see, that's original.
Yeah. turns though, you kind of wonder with such a big car how it's going to, you know, in the older style suspension, but it handles the curves no problem. I mean, obviously you're not going to take them at 90, but shouldn't do that anyways.
Right.
But it's nice. It's actually a pretty comfortable ride for
too bad.
older setup. Yeah.
Right.
So on the rear end, it's probably a solid rear axle, I'm
Yes.
assuming?
And the last year of the Leaf Springs on a
Okay.
Chevy, they went to coil springs in 58 on the rear, which would probably give a little bit of ride in 58.
Right. Thank you very much for letting us